Hey everybody, we are here at the Wilmeth Vineyard in Tokyo, Texas. So this is the vineyard that produces a lot of our Cabernet and Malbec and Merlot off of these blocks that are here. Jet and Gay Wilmeth are the primary farmers, but his brother Ty and his wife Mary are also partners. We're actually in Ty's vineyard right now, but you can tell that we're in West Texas. The wind is blowing. We want to kind of show you guys what the differences are in these vineyards as we're going through and checking them this year for the 2020 harvest. You can see that these vines, we did some videos last week, or this previous week of the grapes. You can see how far along these guys are compared to the ones that were in the hill country. These are a little bit further behind. You can also notice the dirt. We got this real, sandy loam soil that they farm on. They can plow this about as deep as you can plow. But this vineyard is about fifth leaf right now, I believe, but he's got some Cabernet that's over 20 years old. So we have different ages of different blocks at this vineyard. So we want to thank Jet and Gay and Ty and Mary from the Wilmeth Vineyard. Thanks.
Hey guys, so we're standing here in the Hart Vineyard, West Texas, just outside of Tokyo, Texas. This is one of the Viognier blocks that may or may not be available for the year. Maybe 5 acres, I believe, sitting out here. I want to thank Kevin and Michelle Hart being one of our growers.
All right, hey everybody, we are on our vineyard tour still in 2020 for the 2020 harvest. This is the Canada vineyard, the Cabernet that makes our Canada Family Reserve Cab. If you notice here, the vineyard has kind of suffered some damage as far as frost in the fall, so this would normally be a full canopy everywhere that you see. So they're going to have to retrain some cordons. I do want to point out here the dirt. So this is what makes Canada Cab taste like Canada Cab. It's all these rocks that are in here. We'll pull some of these out. When they put this vineyard in, they had to drill these rocks out. And you notice how dark the dirt is in comparison to some of our other vineyards that we're going to see this week. This chalky, dark soil with this limestone in it is what makes this wine, in my opinion, taste so unique in our program. We want to thank Dwayne and Brenda Canada, as well as Daniel and his wife Chrissy, or Christy. I always say Chrissy because my wife's name is Chrissy, right? As some of our favorite growers, along with the other ones that we mentioned before. Thanks. We'll see you down the road.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you to the Ready Vineyards crew, to VJ and to Subida. We're out here at VJ's vineyard here in Brownfield. We're standing in our Marsan block. This for the harvest 2020. It's looking great. You can come up here and see these nice little baby grapes. How they're doing. They're just finishing their bloom cycle. They're getting going. We're standing here. If you look down here, we're in a sandy loam, this dark red dirt in West Texas, which makes some of the best fruit in the world, in my opinion. So thanks again, VJ. We're looking forward to a great harvest.
Hey everybody. Again, we're here on our 2020 vineyard tour on the High Plains. We're in the Steve and Cindy Newsom vineyard in Levelland, Texas. This is one of our furthest northern vineyards on the High Plains. This block that we're in is our Malbec, and historically this has gone into our Claret and our Malbec that's you'll find in our grocery store chain, but it's also made Malbec that we put into our Reserve Malbec. Steve and Cindy grow Malbec for us. They also grow Merlot. The Merlot is about a mile east of here, and it's some of our best Merlot that we get, and we wanted to show you this. These vines are a little bit further behind than some of the ones we might have been showing. I can show you in here. They're just barely they've gone through bloom. The clusters are really small, but you can see in here that we've got some clusters happening even with the environmental conditions that were in this vineyard. So anyway, more to come. The dirt, sorry, I forgot about the dirt. I'm getting reminded. This dirt is very red, deep sandy soil. You can see here again. This is also, Steve just told me that this vineyard hasn't been irrigated since last winter, so that's why it's so dry. So he's actually dry farming it, and the reason why he's doing that is to keep these vines in control so they don't get too big. So if they water too much, this tendril right here would be way out here, and maybe too much for what the actual grape needs for its perfect scenario. So he's kind of restricting the water back to that. A lot of times people read that deficit irrigation is the way to make great quality wine. The problem in Texas, when it gets to be 110 degrees for 5 days in a row, it's probably not a great idea not to water your grapes. So that's all being done as they're monitoring the vines. Thanks. We'll go to the next vineyard.
Hello, welcome to the Bingham Vineyards. My name is Joe Becker. We're standing in the middle of our cab front block in the middle of the Bingham Vineyard. We've been taken around by a very gracious host, Cliff Bingham, and his family has been incredible friends of ours for many, many, many years. They have produced incredible grapes, incredible varieties for us, and we're looking today at the Cab Franc, a grape that's done very well for us in the past, in a lot of our wonderful blends, including our Chevaux Noir, and it's planted in sort of a classic sandy loam Texas soil, and you can see by the grapes that these are older leaf grapes and very mature and produce some wonderful fruit for us.
Hey everybody, we're continuing here on our 2020 vineyard tour. We're at the Farmhouse Vineyard. This is the Sea Dog Vineyard. We are in the Coonwa block that Becker has contracted. If you look behind me, as you go down these rows, this is very uniform. And Crystal, you want to show them some of these clusters that are in here? Coonwa is going to be a very big grape. You can see how many are in this one little cluster. This is in the early stages of its growth, probably in about a month of growth, and it's a pretty uniform block, and we're pretty excited about it. It's one of our new wines that we just started making a couple years ago, and we're excited to see what this is going to do. And as far as soil goes, everybody asks about soil. You notice the red dirt here. This is very comparable to a lot of the other vineyards that we have on the High Plains. Farmhouse has 3 vineyards. This is Sea Dog, they have Pool, and they have Parker's. All right, another little note on the Coonwa. Nick Seaton loves this grape because the leaves are bigger than your palm. There's not very many grapes that will throw that big a leaf. Most of the time on a Cabernet, you see a leaf that's about this big when it's mature, and look at that bad boy. So that's a lot of carbohydrates that make that grape sweet, and that's why he says he loves it. All right, we want to say thank you to the Farmhouse Vineyard crew. Farmhouse consists of Nick and Kitty Jane Seaton and Anthony and Tracy Ferguson, and we want to say thank you to them for being one of the growers for Becker Vineyards.